All right. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Call, Halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, Great Millstone, who rule well and who taught me this truth. And shalom to you, sincere Akim, out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. And shalom to the few sincere Akwath that are out there listening and learning as well. With that being said, I'm going to jump straight into this video. I don't want Ratazah. This will be edifying. As usual, I'm going to go into Rakah Quadash. And, Salakia real quick. Let me turn my Wi-Fi off. Salakia. I saw this article in my news feed, and this was hilarious to me. Me and the brother was just talking about it. Well, not this, but I saw that Drew Barrymore, as you can see, that's what's on the screen. Drew Barrymore had she went viral the other day for breaking the strike. Right now, we know the Hollywood writers and stuff, they're striking over pay and unfair wages. The same story that pretty much everybody's saying. Everybody right now, you got these I think it's the UAW, these car manufacturing workers. I think it's Ford and shit. They're striking, but that's the sentiment throughout the world. We already know that, because why? The wicked is ruling. It's the scriptures say, when the righteous and authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. The people are mourning. Ends are meeting. Inflation is setting in, which is leading to hyperinflation, cost of living. The same. We know the spiel. But she had like I said, Drew Barrymore went viral because she said she was going to go back to the job, to her talk show, whatever. I didn't even know she had a talk show. But fast forward to today, as you can see, it reads, Drew Barrymore has halted production on her U.S. talk show following a furious backlash against her decision to press ahead with it despite a strike by actors and writers. So she was going to be a scab. That's what they call it. When when a company, the union, your union is striking, and you go into work, you're known as a scab. And she was all proud. But hey, I guess that video, that decision was met. It wasn't received so well by the public. So let's read a little bit of the article off of the Sky News. And of course, I got the scriptures on deck. Again, Adawan Watazah, this will be edifying, exhorting, and comforting. Hey, beautiful times that we're living in. This place is through. Hey, like I always say, these people are living a facade. Majority of these people are living a facade. They're living a fake life. Even these celebrities, these athletes, and these entertainers, these people that you think are so well off, a lot of them they're nothing more than $1 million slaves, man. If you are an employee, if you have to answer to someone, if you have to punch the clock, you are a slave, man. Unless you own your business, and then you can say you're not a slave. But if you have to punch the clock, if you have to get your paycheck from somebody else, you're a slave, man. An employee is nothing more than a nice way of saying a slave or a servant. Even these celebrities, these actors, for example, they're slaving on them jobs, man. They're going from one gig to another, just like these athletes, from one team to another, from one contract to another. You slaving. And like what Biggie said, more money, more problems. You think these they live in a facade. You think they live in so well. They're slaving. They got to keep working in order to keep that lifestyle that they're accustomed to maintained. You say, for example, you got a bigger house. Guess what? You got a bigger mortgage. You got a bigger utility bills. The electric bill's gonna be more. Your water bill's gonna be more. Gas bill, whatever. Not to mention your HOA, your insurance. More money, more problems, man. So at the end of the day, everybody's a slave, man, besides the wicked elite, the so-called 1%. They're the ones that own everything, you know. But everybody else, the average Joe you see every day, is a slave, man. Including all them people you idolize and worship and wish you had their lives, man. More money, more problems. So enough of me ranting. Salakia. Again, off of Sky News, it says Drew Barrymore halts CBS talk show after Hollywood strikes backlash. The actress and she's a child star. She's been acting since she was a child, and she still got a slave, you know. The actress and presenter said production of the program would resume once the industrial action is over. The star said she had no words to express my deepest apologies following the row. Drew Barrymore has halted production on her U.S. talk show following a furious backlash against her decision to press ahead with it despite a strike by actors and writers. In a statement shared on Instagram on Sunday, Barrymore wrote she had listened to everyone and would now pause the show's premiere until the industrial action was over. Yeah, because they was going to boycott it, when nobody going to watch it, you know? She had no choice. You know, so hey, it's beautiful times that we living in. I got a plethora of scriptures, as you can see. I'm gonna try to run through them. Now, I don't want this video to be too long. So let's start with Ezekiel 28:5. It says, "By thy great wisdom," and it's really talking about the elites of Esau, Edom. You know, the Rothschilds, the Gettys, the DuPonts, the Vanderbilts, the Oppenheimers, the so-called 1%. You know, that control everything, own everything. And they hide themselves behind their different they change their names, you know. They have these different conglomerations, you know. They hide behind these different corporations, but they really control everything. The 1%, you know, and everybody's a slave to them. Okay, including these celebrities and these athletes, you know. These people that you think are so well off to do, they're nothing more than slaves. $1 million slaves. Ezekiel 28:5. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches. That's these elites, man. But they're in for a rude awakening. They're in for a rude awakening. According to the substance shall the restitution be. Okay? So and again, by their great wisdom, thy traffic, their unrighteous decrees, their policies, these contracts, you know, they're all they're all shitty. All these contracts, these people, they sell their soul. They lose all the rights, and they're getting pennies on the dollar, man, for you know, all these athletes and these celebrities and shit. They really ain't making nothing, bro, at the end of the day. These rappers and these entertainers, you know, you being pimped by the elites, man. You know, by the owners, by the studio, by the record company, by, you know, you being pimped, and through their wisdom, that you got to read the fine print, you know. So this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 13 verse 19. As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, right? So the rich eat up the poor. You know, that's what it is. As the wild, we're prey. We're prey to these elites, man. We're food, you know. As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. This is Proverbs 22:7. The rich, and that's why when you check out all these, the backstory on all these actors and actresses and entertainers and athletes, there's always like a rag to riches story, you know. A good example of that was Diddy, Puffy, making the band. It showed you how he put them through those ritual shamans, you know. Desperate. Everybody's they got a term, thriving artists. A lot of them are these actors and actresses. They're from different states. They take their last and move to Hollywood and LA, you know, and they end up, you know, sleeping on couches, homeless, You know, waiting tables and shit, hoping for their big break. You know, and by the time, you know, they'll do anything to make it, because they're like Jamie Foxx. And check out everybody got a rag to riches story. Little Nas X, Nasty X, they all got the same story, because that's who's gonna make it. It's not so much about your talent. It's about how, because there's a lot of talented people in the world, but it's about how thirsty you are. What, you know, would you give it your all to make it? That way they can fully extort you and pimp you out. Okay, because you're a prey. So this is Proverbs 22:7. Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. You got, and that's part of the curses, and that's really all the curse that affected us, Yasharala. But after they did away with the gold standard, they set up that Federal Reserve. Pretty much Esau put his own people into captivity through these adhesion contracts. We always go into it. Your social security, your social security, birth certificate. These are all adhesion contracts. You know, he enslaved his own people. The whole world now is slave. You know, is slaves. You know, and that's why that civil war happened. You know. Hey, we always go into the Emancipation Proclamation. That was nothing more than a transference of ownership. You know, the private slave owners in the South, you know, they lost their rights and their property, which was Jake, Yasharala, and they became property of the government. But everybody became property of the government, and those adhesion contracts came into fruition. You know, so this is Deuteronomy 28:48. Therefore, it's a part of the curses. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall set, because we're all slaves. And we got to go to the enemy in want of all things, as it's going to say. Okay? And even Sleazy E's own people. Everybody got to go to this devil, because he controls everything. He controls all the resources. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Job 9:24. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. And that's why everybody got a rag to riches story. Everybody trying to get out the hood, trying to get out of their situation and make it, so-called make it. You know, they're all chasing that American dream. You know, if I work hard, if I keep my head down, if I, you know, I can make it in this kingdom. You know, I can become a success. You know. But more money, more problems. You know, the grass ain't always greener on the other side. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. But now that yoke of iron is not, we're not in chattel slavery anymore. We're not in hardcore bondage anymore. Now it's these adhesion contracts, you know, these terms and conditions that you've agreed to before you could even speak or walk, you know. This is Micah 2:10, and that's what majority of our people don't understand. We wasn't brought here in America to make it, to become entertainers, actors, and athletes and shit. We were brought here as a punishment. You know, to consider why we're in the conditions that we're in, why these curses are upon us, you know, for a sign and a wonder, and then repent and turn back to our power. Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. This place is polluted, man. In order to make it, truly make it, you're going to have to compromise your morals. You know? It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with the sword destruction. Because what? We are yet this day in captivity. You know? Baruch 3:8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments. according to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from the Lord out of one our power. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And again, now this is all everybody. Everybody's subject to payment. Why? Because the what? I read it. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. If you want anything, you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you want to go to school, you want to further your education, anything you want in the society, you got to go to the rich. You got to borrow. You got to take out a loan, and then you're going to fall into that debt trap, usury, right? You become prey to these elites, and the rich going to eat you up. You see? This is, but now, like I said, it's affecting everybody, even Esau, Sleazy E's own people. Prime example, Drew Barrymore. She needed that bag, bro. The bills is piling up. She needed to work. Deuteronomy 30:7, and the Lord Yahweh, the beautiful times that we're living in, and the Lord Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies. So like we had to go to the enemy and want of all things, guess what? Sleazy E got to do it now. Sleazy E catching hell. These curses coming upon Sleazy E. They're crying about unjust wages and shit like that. They striking. They catching hell. And the Lord Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. That's the good news. That's the beautiful, beautiful times that we're living in. We're seeing a downfall of our enemies. That's why the Lord said, envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Baruch 4:31. Start at 28. Baruch 4:28. For as it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. Salakia. For as it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. For he that brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. And right now we're being comforted with these scriptures, with these prophecies being fulfilled, seeing the downfall of our enemy. Our redemption is nigh. Beautiful times for the elect. Miserable, this is the point, miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. And these people, many miseries about to befall these people. Many miseries. This is Proverbs 23:5. Will thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches, and then you people are so stupid. You trusting in FRNs, fiat money, ones and zeros, man. You're not even earning real money, which is silver, gold, livestock, land, tangible things. You playing with debt bearing notes, and you selling your soul and giving it your all. Fools, will thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings; they fly away as an eagle toward heaven. It is 1 Timothy 6:17. Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded. But majority of the so-called rich are high-minded. They're proud. They think they better than you, when they nothing more than, again, $1 million slaves, still subject to payment, still on that hamster wheel. And a lot of times they had to compromise their morals to get into that position. Can't sleep at night, strung out on drugs, have nightmares for what they've done, but yet they're proud. And then you envy them, you idolize them, you worship them. You people are fools, man. Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches. I done told you why. Because suddenly they make themselves wings and fly away. Hey, it's always something, one bill after the other. As the saying goes, when it rains, it pours. The bills never stop. Hey, but that's part of the agenda of the wicked elite. You will own nothing and be happy. And more money, more problems. But in the living, it says, nor trust in uncertain riches, but hey, we don't trust in mammon. We trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But in the living power, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy. Starting with this truth, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It says Haggai 1:6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Because again, a lot of these deals are, even if you you got a so-called, you making millions, you still making pennies on a dollar. You being raped, man. You know, them contracts are slimy, greasy. You know, you have or you giving, hey, you doing all the hard work, you doing the heavy lifting, and these owners are reaping all the rewards. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. That's why, hey, Drew Barrymore, she was a child star, but to this day, in her old ass age, she still gotta go get up and slave, cause she got them bills. It says, ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye so much she was willing to be a scab. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. Soon as the money comes in, the money goes out. Soon as you look around, the rent's due again. All the bills are due again. Soon as you pay one bill off, another bill waiting right there on your ass. So it says, because you pray. You pray to these elite. You pray to these owners. Proverbs 8:18. Riches and honor are with me. Yeah, the true riches are with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And that's what we're doing. We're storing up these righteous works, man. We're storing up our spiritual bank account. Our heart, our mind is on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So it says, riches and honor are with me. Yeah, where the thief doesn't break in, and rust nor moth does corrupt. Yea, durable riches. Yeah, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is not unrighteous to forget your labor of love. Hey, that's why we go hard. We're giving diligence to make our calling and election sure. Fuck this world. Fuck mammon. You got to do what you got to do. You got to work. You got to pay your bills. But hey, our heart and soul don't go into these companies. Our heart and soul go to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and laboring in this truth. Riches and honor are with me. Yea, durable riches and righteousness. I'm going to close out here. Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath. Yeah, all that money you requiring, all your so-called bank account, all that gold and silver you storing up, Hey, let's see if that's gonna save you when all hell break loose. If the spirit if that Hawaiian around you, that spiritual mark exempt from judgment ain't upon you in that day. We know the scripture said the Medes, they're not gonna regard silver nor gold. Hey, the times will come. Hey, only thing that's gonna protect you is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? Because judgment is coming. Hey, you people that are in this world, guess what? You've received your consolation. You've received your reward. Your MVP trophies, your championship rings, your Grammys, your Oscars, whatever you have in this world. Your Maybachs, your Bugattis, your yachts. Hey, but hey, we fuck that. We want the kingdom. We want spirit, we want salvation, we want spiritual power. Because everything you see here is temporal. Everything you see, you looking at, is going to be melted with fervent heat. Okay? So it would behoove you to sincerely repent and seek the Lord while he may be found and be on fire. Okay? You steady chasing the bag, grinding. That's all our people know, grinding, getting to the bag. I got 2-3 jobs, Fools, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. All right? So that's the point. Seek the Lord while he may be found. You know, store up these righteous acts in heaven, man. These works. You know, fight the good fight of faith. You know, warn the people. Get the blood off your hands. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You know. So with that being said, I don't want to write this out. This was edifying again and comforting. And your part times, man. Beautiful times for the elect of Yasharallah. Horrific times for the rest of you. You people are through. This place is through. Shalom. Wa abad babor. Kwam Yasharallah.